Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. This video is going to contain my summoning session on the most recent Gala Dragalia Summon Showcase, where I was going for Gala Reborn Poseidon with a hope that I might also pick up along the way our first ever Water Element Rapid Fire style Manicaster, the Blue Rose Lapis. So in this video, I'll be sharing my summoning footage, but you're probably aware that this summon showcase ended several days ago, so I am adding some audio commentary after the fact, mainly because what I discussed when I was originally summoning, well, it's just no longer relevant. I was speculating about what's coming up in November, but now we actually have some concrete details on the events to come this month. So instead of speculating, I'm basically going to discuss the news that came out this past week in Dragalia Lost. And honestly, I've been kind of away from Dragalia for about a week or so because of the craziness happening in the real world. I'm finally at a point where I have a sense of relief, a sense of resolution as to those events, so I'm ready to jump back into Dragalia, feeling refreshed, feeling optimistic about the month of November, the collaboration, as well as even our defensive battle event. And of course, in case you missed that, had to sacrifice to the gotcha gods there, a regular Poseidon, to bring us some good luck in our summoning today to try pick up our Gala Reborn Poseidon. So while we're summoning, there are three main topics I want to talk about that have come out in Dragalia Lost over the past week. One of them is going to be the current summon showcase featuring Opera Karina and Giovanni. The second is our defensive battle event, Northern Negotiators, and the third is the collaboration happening later this month. And yeah, if you saw that 5-star, well, it ended up being a dupe, but always love to see Nefaria, so it wasn't too bad in the end. We're going to keep summoning here until we get a Gala Reborn Poseidon. Was hoping to try save enough to use a Worm Sigil later in the month, but as it turns out, it doesn't look like our collaboration character is going to be limited, so I may have been able to use more Wormite than I actually did here. In any case, let's start off by talking about Opera Karina and Giovanni. That summon showcase is live right now, and in my opinion, I would only summon on that showcase if you are missing Patya, because Patya is featured at a 4-star rarity, and she is an excellent 4-star adventure to try pick up. So if you're missing Patya, I would say go ahead and go for it. Otherwise, I think it is definitely a skip. Opera Karina is a powerful adventurer in many ways. She has really good damage modifiers. They're comparable to Veronica, who has some of the highest, if not the highest, in the game. And she can be used, Opera Karina that is, to do some pretty fast clears of Master Kayan in coordination with Mitsubas. But we now have a precedent at the Legend difficulty that we'll probably have to use teams of the opposite element of the bosses we're facing, based on what was announced about Legend Volk. So that strategy probably not going to be as reliable going into that new difficulty, and in general, the fast clears with Karina, well, they look a lot more technical and a lot harder to pull off consistently than the ones with Veronica, which are pretty easy to do to the point that you can easily do them and expect to find rooms for them in public lobbies. So I think Opera Karina is just edged out in that regard by Veronica and Mitsuba in their speed comp. And in the regular comps, I still think Belina, Patya, and Grace are such staples that it's not as easy for Karina to just slot into these rooms. So at the end of the day, I think Opera Karina is a strong adventurer, but she doesn't really match up too well against Master Difficulty Kayan. Now maybe against Legend, that'll change. Her Shadow Blight Punisher certainly seems promising, since you could combine that with Poison Punisher potentially, and that could be a very strong setup going into Legend difficulty. But as of now, I don't think she is a must-have. And when it comes to Giovanni, I think he's even weaker. Unfortunately, his abilities as a dragon are only on the level of Dragon Yoshan d'Arc, and those are kind of unremarkable in today's world of really strong Gala dragons. So Giovanni is not quite there for me either, even though he has a pretty cool skill and works with some buff zone adventurers like Nevin, Gala Cleo, and Opera Karina. He's still not the preferred dragon on any of those adventurers. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about the Summon Showcase. Next, let's talk about our Defensive Battles event, featuring some of the crew from the north, in this case, Joachim and Noel. And I certainly think that it's possible we'll also see an appearance in this event of Victor and Kirsty, even if they're not the main characters. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I love the artwork that we've seen so far of our two returnee characters, Joachim and Noelle. Noelle in particular I think looks really pretty with her hair down, and I like both of the outfits they're wearing, sort of full military regalia, formal presentation type dress and attire. It's a cool look, and I know that appeals to some players, so hopefully if these characters interest you, and I've heard great things about the stories for these characters in general, at least not the alts, but the originals, you'll be excited to check out this event. I know I am. I hope that we get some new maps, with it being our third Defensive Battles event ever, but I'm not really holding my breath on that one. Probably going to be another chill week, honestly, as this event rolls out. Coming off of this facility event, going into that one, seems like kind of just a down period in Dragalia to catch our breath after this past anniversary month. But it should be a fun one. I'm really curious what we find out about Northern Grastia, since this is yet another group from Northern Grastia besides Nedrick, besides the Fairy Kingdom, besides the Northern Church groups. So yeah, I'm curious about this one. Looks to be fun. I was surprised that we got both a Joachim and Noelle alt, at least it appears that way based on how put together the artwork looks. It doesn't look like it's just the artwork portraits for the event, but probably summonable, I would imagine. But at the same time, they look so close to their original forms that it feels weird that they're alts to me. Like, I would have expected this to be like, I don't know, like alts. I always think of summer alts, festival, seasonal alts, but these alts feel very close to the originals, almost just like, you know, they mega evolved. It's like so close to the original. It's not that far off. It feels more like they got spiraled and they got new artwork or something. So that did surprise me. That was one reason I thought it might be a different Northern group, just because I felt like these characters, they honestly deserve an event in their original form without having to create an alt for them, but this kind of satisfies that in a way. If we do get summonable alts, they have some updated artwork, probably some updated kits as well, but we'll have to wait and see what comes out for their summon showcase, or at least a summon showcase tied to that event. We'll probably know fairly soon here. And the last thing that we found out about was, of course, our collaboration coming later in November with Princess Connect Redive, another Cygames franchise. This one I never saw coming. Probably should have, because apparently this franchise has crossed over with other Cygames titles in the past, and it itself is a Cygames title, so it does make sense that the Dragalia devs would have access to this potentially. But I am not familiar with Princess Connect, would have never guessed. Our event is called a Voracious Visitor. We have a new character, Pekarine, who looks like a light sword. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name properly. There's apparently an anime tied to this series or franchise as well, so I might have to do some research to catch myself up on it before the event actually happens. And I think it's going to be a raid event. Interestingly, she is said to be the only new adventurer tied to this, and yeah, she's not going to be limited, so that's going to be pretty exciting. You're going to be able to get her in the future. I think that makes a lot of people feel better about their summoning resources and their stash they've saved up, knowing they'll be able to get Pekarine in the future if she's somebody that they really want. There's also a really nice new track for this called Rainbow Riders by Mao or MAO. I'm looking forward to it overall as a completely ignorant person when it comes to Princess Connect, like have no knowledge about it. But yeah, I'm excited. It seems like it's going to be very cute. Voracious Visitor, it gets me very excited about the possibility of a Valerio alt, or Valerio making an appearance. Valerio's story is one of the most touching. If you're not aware, it involves his relationship with a princess that he was sworn to protect, and a meal that he wished he could deliver to her. It's a long story, a little bit more complicated than I'm letting on, but it's a really good one. Valerio would fit in right into an event about princesses and a Voracious Visitor. It just makes so much sense. So I hope we see Valerio. I also hope that we see another character. I think on that Summon Showcase we probably will. But as you can see, at this point I got my Gala Reborn Poseidon, and yeah, free Unbind along the way. So that's pretty much how my summoning went down. Let me know how it went for you and how the past week in Dragalia has been for you in the comments below. But that is going to do it for today, everyone. Thank you as always for watching. Expect some more videos to pick up soon. Take care, and I'll see you next time.